Trump has signed an executive order calling for the dismantling of the Education Department. Background checks will still be mandatory for ghost guns. The Supreme Court upholding federal regulations that require ghost gun makers to include serial numbers on the kits and run background checks on those who buy them. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joining us to break all of this down. Jeff, ghost guns, they're essentially kits. People can buy them to build firearms on their own. Tell us more, though, about this ruling.
So this legal dispute, Dee, was over whether or not the kits can be regulated just like firearms. Since 2022, a few years ago, the ATF has included ghost guns within the definition of firearm under the Gun Control Act. And after a 7-2 ruling today, that isn't going to change. David Thomas, former law enforcement, tells us ghost guns can be very hard to spot.
If it's put together properly, you will literally not be able to tell.
And over the last 6 years, more are starting to pop up. Justice Department data shows 1,700 were recovered in 2017, that number growing to 27,000 in 2023.
If there's a loophole, somebody's going to figure it out. And that's exactly what they did.
Under current ATF regulations, ghost guns meet the definition of firearm under the Gun Control Act, meaning background checks and serial numbers are required.
We're classifying this as a gun. It's a complete kit, and that it's got to go through an FFL. You've got to go through a background investigation. It's got to be completely legal.
But challengers argued the ATF didn't have the authority to apply the law to the kits. The Supreme Court ultimately ruling the regulations can stay in place. Justice Neil Gorsuch writing, quote, "Even as sold, the kit comes with all necessary components and its intended function as an instrument of combat is obvious." Some gun rights groups upset with the Supreme Court's ruling. The Firearms Policy Coalition releasing a statement saying, "We are disappointed with the Supreme Court's misguided decision, but recognize this is only one battle in a multi-generational war over the scope of government and pre-existing right to keep and bear arms." Now, at the moment, it's not yet clear how President Trump will handle the ruling from today, but he did sign an order on February 7th requiring the Attorney General to review all gun regulations during the Biden administration. Reporting for the National News Desk, I'm Jeff Harris.